Purusham tamaham bhajami. Yam krodhakama sahaja pranayani bhiti. Vatsalya moha guru gaurava shekya bhavai. Sanchitya tasya sadrishim tanuna purete. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Drumamuni Shintamani Garamari Toyam Amritam Kathaganam Nasyam Gamanam Pivam Shriya Sati Chidanandam Jyoti Parama Pitara Sadaram Picha Sayatra Shriramdi Shavati Surabhiyashchara Sumahan Nimesharadha Kshova Prajati Nahiyatrapi Samaya Bhale Shveta Devam Tamahamiya Bolo Tamitiyam Vidantaste Santah Shiti Viralachara Katipaye Govindam Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Shri Shri Brahma Samhita ki Jai. So we pass the sheets back. No, so at this time, if we can have the neck piece change, so devotees can help. Devotees from behind, anyone can help. For every initiate, you take out the old bead and you can actually, someone will help you put the new bead. So you don't put it for yourself, but someone will help you finish the beads. Yes, someone can help. Someone can help him improve. I have Sudhir Mati. Can you help Radha with me? Everyone, while putting on a new neck piece, please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So now all the devotees who are sitting here, please turn around. Maharaj will give the class now. So those four who are sitting here, please turn around.
All right.
Maharaj will give the class now.
Okay. Thank you. So, Omagana Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shigurve Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual masters, Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. And Srila Prabhupada so kindly rescued us from the ocean of nescience, given us the shining lamp of knowledge. So, today we are celebrating initiation, Vaishnava initiation on this very important day in the month of Kartik. It's Bahulastami. Oops. So, very important day in the month of Kartik and very auspicious occasion, this initiation. So we're going to describe what initiation is. So actually there's two types of initiation taking place here. One type is the Harinam initiation. The song is called the first initiation. And the second type is called the Brahman initiation, Gayatri Mantra initiation. And both of these types of initiation are called samskaras. Now, for those of you who are familiar with the term samskara, you usually think of a samskara in terms of some ritual you do at certain stages of someone's life, like these namakarana samskara, and ultimately, I hate to mention this, antyeshti. That means the end of the life. So the word samskara doesn't mean ceremony, for those of you who want to know. The word samskara is composed of actually three syllables, but two parts, sang and skara. Sang means perfect or complete, and kara means kriti, like to action or work. So it means complete action or complete work. Now, what do we mean by that? Why is this a complete action? Why is this a complete work? Because these different samskaras, they actually impress a samskara, which is also another meaning of samskara, is an impression on the subtle body. For those of you who don't know the philosophy very well, we have this thing called a gross body. Gross in this sense doesn't mean disgusting, although it probably is. You know. I describe, isn't it? Tree Daluke, bio, mucus, and air, and other wonderful substances. But in this particular context, the word gross means the Pancha Mahabhuta, that is earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And subtle means mind, intelligence, and false ego. So we have this thing here. Thing. It's not me, it's a thing. It's not a person, it's a thing. And I am driving the thing. Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita. Ishvara sarvabhutanam yancha. Isn't it? Yantra vridhani maya is a yantra. Just like some of you have very fancy cars. I was walking through the parking lot, seeing so many fancy cars. And so, nice Tesla there. Don't worry, I'm not into this. So we saw nice fancy cars there, and some of you have rather junky cars. Near the school there, I saw one of these Volkswagen Bug things. I know it doesn't work anymore. So some of us have fancy bodies, and the other people have not so fancy bodies. Some people have young machines, some people have older machines. And with these machines, it's not as easy to trade it in for a new one. Just like I was talking to this devotee here, I said, don't you have an iPhone 15 by now? I said, no, and she was crying. I only have an iPhone 13. I said, oh, I feel sorry. I'm an Android person. So, but it's like that. This is the gross body. It's just a thing. Remember that. And we're spending our whole lives decorating these things. Those of you who are ladies, sometimes you like to go walking around the mall for things for the thing. Isn't it things to decorate? And you comb the hair on the thing. He put makeup on the thing. And so that's all it is. It's a thing. It's not you. But then we have also a subtle thing. That's our mind, intelligence, and false ego. And you can't see the subtle thing, but we know it exists because we all have a mind. What is the mind? Accepting and rejecting things based on our desires, the momentary impulses. Wow, I'd really like to eat that. I don't want to eat that. Just like today at dinner, someone gave me something. It was, a little too spicy. I said, I don't want to eat that. So that's the mind. And the intelligence, okay, then you go up to the intelligence a little higher. Intelligence means even if you don't like what it tastes, you should eat it because it's good for you. Or the person serving you will get insulted if you don't eat it. That's called intelligence. Because sometimes you just bite the bullet, so to speak, and you eat something you don't want to eat just to please the guests, or please your host. So intelligence. Of course, Krishna conscious intelligence is something different. That we know that chanting is good for us. And we know in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, as described by Krishna in the Gita, that it may appear to be difficult, even like poison, but at the end it's going to be like nectar. So with intelligence, we say, okay, I know it's going to be like nectar. Right now, waking up early in the morning. Right now, waking up, sorry, there's a ghost in the machine. Has a soul, just like your machines have souls. So, so waking up in the morning, don't want to do it, but you get up because the intelligence says it's good for you, you'll like it later on. And your mind is thinking, when will later on come? We've got another microphone.
This one is charged.
This one's charged. This thing is charged. It's a young thing. So that's intelligence. And there's material intelligence. Material intelligence means you work really hard because you know you want money, even though you don't want to get up early in the morning, but you get up early. Just like my father, he worked really hard. He got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, earlier than most devotees that I know, because he wanted money, he wanted to be opulent, and he was successful at doing that. So even to be materially successful, you got to function on the level, at least intelligence and mode of passion. So that's intelligence. And then ego, okay, here's the third step in the subtle body. Ego is the concept of I and mine. Very simple. And that's the opposite of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the concept or the realization that everything belongs to Krishna. Yishavashamidam sarvam yet kincha javacham jagat tena jajana pujala magara dashaspitanam. Everything belongs to Krishna, and everything is meant for Krishna's pleasure. And we are what? Part and parcel of Krishna. Mami Vamsa Jiva Loke, Jiva Buddha Sanatana. So this subtle body carries impressions from one lifetime to another. Really interesting. And so these samskaras are meant to give some impression to the subtle body. Subtle body is like a piece of clay. I don't know if any of you, when you were young, used to play with pieces of clay. I did. We had this thing called silly putty. Everybody knows what that is?
Yeah.
It's worldwide. I would take the silly putty and actually put it on top of my comic books.
Yeah.
And make impressions from the comic books and then stretch and everything like that. But basically, it was taking impressions from something else, or putting it in a mold and making nice cookies and things like that didn't taste too good. So that was silly putty. So our subtle body is like this silly putty stuff that whatever it comes in contact with, and it's also an it, It's not us. Because us means the soul. The soul is just sitting on this car, Bhagavad Gita metaphor. And the horses are the senses, and the reins, they're the mind, and the driver is the intelligence. So just sitting, watching everything go by. So anyway, so this subtle body is getting all these impressions from every single experience we have. So all life is a samskara in one sense. Maybe not a perfect action, but an action that makes impressions on our subtle body. Now, those of you who are a little older like me, we even remember different songs from our childhood. All it takes is just one little stimuli, and I'm singing some song from the 1930s. Oh, sorry. Right? I mean, just everybody who knows me knows that. It's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I want to hold your hand. You know, something like that. Beatles song or something like that. So these are impressions on the subtle body. And these impressions sort of pollute our consciousness. They keep us from realizing ourselves, just like if you keep throwing dirt on a lens or on a mirror. The example usually given is a mirror. Then it gets more and more clogged up, and you cannot see the image so clearly. So throughout many lifetimes, and I'm not just talking about, I think I have to keep the microphone some distance away. I tend to get a little emotive. So we're not just talking about this lifetime, but through many lifetimes, we have all these impressions, and therefore, even when we're born in this lifetime, we have these certain phobias. Phobias means fears. Some people are afraid of water. Of course, sometimes in Indian culture, people are afraid of water because their mothers told them to be afraid of water. Mothers had this superstitious dream that they were going to drown, right? So they never teach the kids how to swim. So when it comes time for a flood, the kids actually drown. You ever heard about this before? Big problem. So, but in any case, we do have these phobias from past lives, and we're, certain fears that can't be explained. That's one evidence. And, certain mannerisms and whatever, or even attraction to Krishna. Like some people, we find are so naturally attracted to Krishna. They just hear one chanting of Hare Krishna and get the hair buzzer out, and their hair comes. And other people, we just have to tell them, if you want to take initiation, it has to come off. What, really, Maharaj? So, isn't it? It's just like, it's amazing. Like when Prabhupada came to the Western world, all Prabhupada did was just sit down in Tompkins Square Park and chant. And some people just said, where do we join? Actually, I had that experience too, that not in Tompkins Square Park, but I heard Prabhupada chanting on the radio, and I thought, that's it. Goodbye, cruel world. And my mother said, what happened to you, my dear son? I said, I'm not interested in any of this stuff anymore. I lost all interest. Of course, we don't want that to happen to all of you, because we have to support our temple here. So please keep your jobs, maintain your interest. And Krishna wants you to keep your jobs. So anyway, she said times have changed because I used to preach differently. So anyway, so these impressions are there, and so it's incumbent upon us, that means it's our duty, to have some good impressions and not give bad impressions to other people. For example, if any of you are parents, it's your duty to only give good impressions to your children. And of course, your children are going to school and getting all sorts of interesting impressions because your children, in many cases, are ABCDs. American-born confused daisies. And so at least the parents should arrange good impressions. And you know, if someone looks at, what is it called? TikTok. No one's heard of that before. And they're getting all these really bad impressions. And you're wondering why they're having so much trouble chanting. They're not interested in chanting because of all these impressions. It really happens like that. It really affects the consciousness. It's association. What does that mean? Oh, bad impressions.
The sound is not good.
The sound's no good?
Sometimes.
Okay. If I get too close, okay. Can you hear better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, we will try our best to speak close to the microphone. So the whole point is we have to protect others from having these bad impressions, and we have to protect ourselves. So basically, except for the spiritual impressions, we want to get rid of the bad impressions. And what's the methodology for getting rid of the bad impressions? Does anyone know? Chanting. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Baba Mahadvagni Nirvapana, right? It cleanses the mirror of the heart. And then you can see and understand who you are. Because you are a spiritual entity. You have a spiritual identity. You have a spiritual relationship with Krishna. It's not an artificial imposition on the mind. You are naturally Krishna conscious. And here's a big one. You are in the spiritual world. That's what Prabhupada said. Don't blame me for that. But you are walking around in this virtual reality thinking you're here. But the soul is non-material. The soul is not here. The body is here. The thing is here. You understand? So the whole idea is exposing yourself to the holy name. Then, like when one recovers from amnesia or one wakes up early in the morning, then you remember, hey, I am this coward boy. Wow. Or I am this gopi, or I am this mother or father of Krishna, or I am Krishna. You're always Krishna's servant. Wow. How come I didn't know this before? So it is a natural process. And this is the process that devotees are getting initiated in today. The process of chanting Hare Krishna. Of course, as I said, some devotees are taking the second initiation, which will help deepen their connection with the holy name. Actually, all someone needs in order to be Krishna conscious is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. No other mantra is necessary. Why is no other mantra necessary? Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya, Vasudevara Punashuddha Jivukto Vinatvam, Nama Namino. Because the name Chintamani is spiritual and it's full of ras, it's full of life, it's full of form. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It is complete, Purna. It is pure. It is non-different from Krishna, or he is non-different from Krishna. Nam is non-different from Krishna. And so you're associating with Krishna, and Hridayanta Sto Yavadrani Virunoti Suritsatam. Srinvata Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Hridayanta Sto Yavajani Virunoti Suritsatam. Krishna is in your heart, and he's your well-wisher, and he does the cleaning. He's your well-wisher. He wants you to be Krishna conscious. That's all you got to do. And so in order to chant with the most effect, because there are different stages of chanting. I mean, one could chant offensively, not so effective. One can chant in the clearing stage. One can chant in the bhava stage, or one can chant in the pure stage. So at least we should raise ourselves against the offensive, above the offensive stage. What is the offensive stage? Of course, naturally, we will talk about the 10 offenses when chanting the holy name. Offensive stage means one is committing one or several of the 10 offenses. What are the 10 offenses? Very briefly. First offense, very dangerous, to blaspheme the devotees of the Lord who dedicate their lives to propagating the holy name of the Lord. Actually, we're supposed to be respectful to all living entities according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Trinadapi Sunichina, Thuroya Vasishina. Being very tolerant. Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Hari. We're not supposed to offend anybody. One of the austerities of speech, Satya Priya Hitam, is to always speak pleasingly, beneficially, right? Truthfully. So what to speak of other devotees? And what does it mean, a devotee? If someone even chants Hare Krishna one time, we offer respects to such a person in the mind. Just one time. If some big rascal, I'm not going to mention names, because I look at the news too often. Too many names come to my mind. If one big rascal chants Hare Krishna once, or there was one rascal who arranged for a Rath Yatra ceremony many years ago, one big politician. I offer respects to him in my mind. Of course, I'm not going to do what he says, but that's another issue. We offer respects in our mind because they're on the path of devotional service. Wow, we're happy for them. We celebrate. It's not that someone comes to the Hare Krishna movement and we say, you got to chant 16 rounds, buddy, or else you're in a fallen condition of life. Yamadutas coming to get you. As that song goes, I told you I remember songs. They're coming to get me away, take me away. They're coming to take me away. So, I mean, that's really why it took me 2 more years to join the Hare Krishna movement, because the devotees told me that. I came and I said, I like chanting Hare Krishna. Well, you got to chant 60 rounds, you got to cut all that beautiful hair off. The beard has to go. Everything has to go, and you have to wear some bed sheets. And I said, these people are crazy. And 2 more years, it took me meeting Prabhupada. But we should celebrate. Someone chants Hare Krishna once. Just like that story in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that Gadadhara Das, not Gadadhara Pandit, he got the Qazi. He told the Qazi, the Muslim person, you got to chant Hare Krishna. And the guy just wanted to get rid of it. He said, I'll chant Hare Krishna tomorrow. And because he chanted Hare Krishna, saying he was going to chant Hare Krishna tomorrow, Gadadhara Das started jumping around in ecstasy. He was celebrating. Right? He said, why do you have to wait till tomorrow? You're chanting now. So we celebrate. And if you don't, if you heavy someone out, that may be committing offenses. Yeah, because they're devotees. They're chanting one time. They may have so many other problems. They'll go away. I'm not worried about it. Because the holy name is so powerful. You get someone to chant and eventually they'll become a simply wonderful. And Prabhupada said, you get someone to chant. I mean, that's when I used to go to the university to share Krishna consciousness with others. I used to give people beads and say, you chant one round and come back and tell me how you feel. We'll talk about it tomorrow. That's all. I said, don't have to accept anything I say. Don't have to believe in anything. That's all right. I just want you to experiment. We like to experiment in new things. You know, when I was young, people liked to experiment with drugs. So I said, you chant, as Prabhupada said, stay high forever. And I would come back and I said, did you get high? And they would say, yeah. I said, you don't have to chant anymore. No, I want to chant. So sometimes when you tell people not to do something, they do it better, especially with children and young people. Said, no, I'm going to chant. No, it's not. You're not ready yet. You're not qualified. So in other words, we celebrate, wow, one chanting of Hare Krishna, the person's on the path, back to home, back to God in one little service. And so, first offense of chanting, don't offend anybody who's even chanting once. They're a great soul. You know, it may take some time, etc., like that, but that's all right. That's all right. We can be patient. We can be patient. That's one thing I learned in my occupation, being a guru, is patience. Even if I haven't learned anything else, is being patient. So, patient and tolerant, and no longer get amazed at anything that happens or anything my disciples do. So anyways, that's the first offense. I'm not going to take forever to go through the offenses. Second offense is to consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, equal to or independent of the whole Lord Vishnu, and of course, the demigods are all servants of Lord Vishnu. We don't disrespect them. They're also devotees. Respect them as devotees. They're not God. They're demigods. But we respect them. We offer all respect. They're great devotees. We should be so fortunate to serve in such a capacity. So next offense is to disobey the order of the spiritual master. The spiritual master is giving instructions according to the Vedic literatures, and we do have a right to ask the spiritual master why there is particular instructions, not blind following. Prabhupada said blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. But it's a back and forth relationship. The bona fide spiritual master facilitates the advancement of the disciple and engages the disciple according to the disciple's psychophysical nature. Just like we have Srila Prabhupada, and one of his primary disciples was Mr. George Harrison. And George Harrison, does anyone know who George Harrison? No. He wrote My Sweet Lord, if you didn't know. So George Harrison, he said, Prabhupada, do you want me to join the ashram and shave my hair and everything? Prabhupada said, no, please don't do that. Why? Because he was best engaged and he did so much service by his music. And he played the guitar. So you can find so many justifications. So he played the guitar and Prabhupada engaged him. And look at this, everybody heard the Hare Krishna mantra around the world because of George Harrison. So Prabhupada knew the psychophysical nature of George Harrison, how to engage him. And he wasn't chanting 16 rounds, but Prabhupada knew how to engage him according to his nature. So everybody has their own nature. That's the spiritual master, an expert spiritual master will engage us. And in the Krishna consciousness movement, all the spiritual masters will engage one in serving the mission of Srila Prabhupada, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, as one happy family. And that's a very important point, that all of us, regardless of whoever we're initiated by, are just Prabhupada's family. Just think like that. I do not distinguish myself between who initiated who, everybody. I love everybody. What can I say? Everybody's nice, except for me. So, so anyway, next offense is blaspheme Vedic literatures or literatures pursuant to the Vedic version. We don't criticize any religious literature, regardless of what tradition it comes from. As long as people are following. Prabhupada said if we were in charge of the government, we'd make sure everyone was following their own religion. Fine. Of course, we'd also make sure nobody was killing cows. That goes without saying. Okay, so next offense is to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to the imagination. As we mentioned before, Hare Krishna mantra is not different from Krishna, certainly not imagination. Next offense is to give some perverted, crazy, imaginative interpretation on the holy name. And that means just some material interpretation. Well, our chanting Hare Krishna brings out the theta waves, or the beta waves, or the alpha waves, and that's why I feel so good today. There was actually one devotee even published an article with some scientific studies on was chanting Hare Krishna and showed the graph of the different waves. This is all mundane as an offense on chanting. It's not like that. There are bona fide ways to understand the holy name, as we mentioned before, or didn't mention today yet. Hare refers to Radharani in the Bhagavad form. Krishna refers to Krishna. Ram refers to Lord Ramchandra, Balaram, Radharaman. It's one way. Then we can further analyze the word Krishna. Krish means to attract. Na means to negate the material existence and also to experience Nanda. So that's another meaning of the word Krishna. But that's bona fide. That's from the Acharyas, disciplic succession. So Krishna. So next offense is to commit sins on the strength of chanting. Because by chanting, we get rid of all these impressions, bad impressions, and all karma. Everybody knows what karma is? Karma in this context, the word karma means work, but it also can mean the reactions to work. And there's different reactions to work. There's the parabdha karma, the aparabdha karma, and this, you can read Nectar of Devotion if you want to find out these things. There's reactions that haven't yet come. They're just, as they say, just now coming. You understand the expression? If tomorrow something's going to happen to me, look at your horror scope. Oh my God. This is horror. Tomorrow, oh my God. I remember that some people have this horoscope that says you're going to have one bad marriage, so they arrange a marriage with a banana tree. So that's the one bad marriage. It's true. You heard about this before?
Yeah. For real?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So we'd have a whole fireside. I've never done a fireside place like that here. But Ditch and I myself are going to arrange for those. We have, marriage toast, So we have some old banana trees here. If any of you girls are interested. So no, if you chant Hare Krishna, Prabhupada said, and you clap your hands and dance, then all the lines in your palm become changed, right? So we don't worry about any of those things. I mean, I had one horoscope done. They said, several of them said, you're going to die when before you're 65, or at 65. So I was just counting down. Okay, tell me all the devotees, I have 6 more months. Here's my will, health care, stuff like that. And nothing happened. I said, what happened? I I was disappointed, you know, I didn't get a chance to see Yamaraj or anything. I was looking forward to it. So then I realized, oh, I was chanting that mantra, that's the problem. So by chanting Hare Krishna, it doesn't matter. You may make all the stars become auspicious, even though they appear to be inauspicious. Even, you know, there's that story about Hanuman, that it came time for his Saturn period, so Saturn came to him and said, time for your Saturn period. Oh my God. And Hanuman said, yes, you can just sit on my head. And then Hanuman put a big boulder on top of poor Saturn. And Saturn said, you know, can I get me out of here? And Hanuman said, yeah, as long as you leave. So the point is, you worship Hanuman, you worship Krishna, Lord Ram, especially Lord Ram. And then all these puja doshas, you know, they just fly away like anything. And even your Saturn period is good because it helps you become more attached to Krishna and detached. You know, everything negative turns into a positive. I mean, I can think of the things that happened to me in this lifetime that were not so pleasant, but I thank Krishna for them because they helped me in Krishna consciousness. Like I always mention, my kidney stones. It's pleasant. No, it wasn't pleasant, but it helped me connect more with Krishna. I realized so many things by that particular experience. So, anyway, so the next offense, I don't want to take forever with the offenses. Next offense is to think that chanting is just some ritual. Like we have many rituals in the Krishna conscious movement, like I'm wearing a dhoti, sannyas dhoti. But this dhoti will not take me back to Godhead. Ravana also wore a dhoti, as far as I know. I have to check again. So the point is, clothes are not necessarily spiritual or material, it depends on how you use them. If you use the clothes, you know, I can take my dhoti, use the clothes and go see a Bollywood movie. And it's not a spiritual dhoti anymore. Or I can put on pants and play my guitar and chant Hare Krishna, and it's spiritual. So we have to see the certain external things we do, they help us remember Krishna. I mean, I like dressing like this. Helps me remember Krishna. I like having a Sika. Helps me remember Krishna. People get attracted anyway. So I like all these things, but these things are not going to help me go back to Godhead unless I can chant Hare Krishna properly. Like the devotees would sometimes have this saying about a Shika. They said you should have a Shika so that Krishna can pull you back to Godhead. And I was thinking, what about the poor bald people who can't grow one? And then I felt very envious towards the ladies because they can go back to God a lot easier. They have much more hair. So we have to understand the Shika is a tradition. It's Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. It's fine. But what will take us back to Godhead is our pure chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and our service to Krishna and Guru and our pleasing Krishna and Guru. That's what will take us back to Godhead, really. So in my life, I'm thinking how to please Prabhupada and ready to do whatever will please Prabhupada because Yasha Prasada, Bhagavad Prasada, Yasha Prasada, Nagati Topi. If I please Prabhupada, then Krishna gets pleased. Simple mathematical formula. Things equal to the same thing are equal to each other. I just remember that. And this is my message to everybody. We should think of how to please Srila Prabhupada, who is all of us are connected to, as Prabhupada is ultimately our ultimate shiksha, inspiration of Krishna consciousness. So the ninth offense is actually quite interesting. Ninth offense is to not preach the glories formally. It's stated in a formal way. That's what I mean. Not preach the glories of the Lord to those who are faithless. But I just really want to unpack that. That means, for me, this particular offense means to be careful what you say to people and don't give people more than they can bear to hear. In order to accomplish that, you have to know who you are speaking to before you open your trap. Mouth, sorry. Because oftentimes, vacho vega manasa vacho, we want to speak. And like I mentioned before, the devotees spoke to me a little too heavily in the beginning. And even though they were speaking to someone that would ultimately join the Krishna consciousness movement, it drove me away for some time. So that's the offense on chanting. That you just use your ears a little bit and your eyes and try to see who you're talking to. And you present things in a way that they can digest. You don't give a sick person fried food because they can't digest it. But someone who is healthy, you can give them a big feast. Same thing with Krishna consciousness. Everybody can hear something about Krishna. Yeah, everybody can take a little prasadam at least. So understand who you're speaking to, but try to help everybody in one way or the other. And 10th offense is to not have complete faith in chanting the holy name and maintain material attachments. That means as you're chanting, you should be trying to get more attached to Krishna, and ultimately the material attachments will fall away. Rasa Bharja Masha Pirsa, Parandrashta, Nivartate. Okay? And then Bhaktivedanta Thakur mentions sort of the 11th offense. It's also offensive to be inattentive while chanting. And how do you become attentive in chanting? That's the big question everyone asks me all the time. We think of why we're chanting when we're chanting. In other words, what is from our hearts? What do we want? I want to connect with Krishna. I want to connect with Radha and Krishna. I want to connect with my spiritual master. Or as George Harrison said, I really want to see you, Lord. It takes so long. I know. Hare Krishna. Anyway, isn't it? Something like that. Intense, loyum. Just like the word loyum means like great or intense hankering. So we are hankering for intensely for the things of this world. So we should hanker for something related to Krishna. That's all. Please, Krishna, help this person become Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. With emotion, not just with your brain, with your heart. Heart is the soul. Brain is just part of the thing, the machine. The brain is not the mind. The brain is connected to the mind. Hare Krishna. I guess I said something wrong. So anyway, those are the events of chanting. And positively, not to prolong class, please study the Shikshashika prayers left by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and study the translations given by Prabhupada in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Anjalila of the Shikshashika prayers, to try to understand the mood of Krishna's dearmost devotee, Srimati Radharani. Because if we actually want to come to the topmost platform of devotional service, we have to get the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Of course, we want to get first Balaram's mercy, and Balaram is represented by spiritual master. No one gets the mercy of Krishna without the mercy of Balaram. And then we approach Srimati Radharani. To understand how to serve Krishna. And Srimati Radharani, her mood has been manifested by Krishna himself as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we study Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in order to understand Srimati Radharani, in order to understand her mood, in order to understand how to serve Krishna. And this way our devotional service will perfect itself very, very quickly. So that's first initiation. Second initiation, very quick, is basically called Brahman initiation, and it means that someone is duty bound, that's a heavy word, duty bound, to cultivate the qualities. Of course, everyone should be cultivating these qualities. Samadana tapaksha jam shanta yurajvadipacham Jnanavigarmastikya brahma karma svabhacham. Qualities in the mode of goodness, qualities such as being equipoised, self-controlled, austere, accepting everything favorable for Krishna consciousness, rejecting everything unfavorable, being clean, being tolerant, being religious. And ultimately, those who are taking second initiation are representatives of the movement like Brahmins or priests. Regardless of what Varna they were born in or what their background is, it says that if one is Krishna conscious, Kiva Vipra, Kiva Nyasi, Shudra Kinanoy, Ye Krishna Tadvaveta, say Guru Hoy, one can become an instructor for society. And ultimately, that's everyone's duty to help others. Everyone's duty is to become Krishna conscious and become gurus for others. Maybe not gurus in the sense of initiation, but even more important is giving cogent instruction to others, helping others. Our whole life should be based upon helping others. It is the greatest satisfaction when we can help others. It's built into the soul. That's why even in the material world, we find people who are helping people materially, and they're very happy doing this, even though they're not getting any money or anything from it. You hear about all these doctors who go overseas to the problem areas in the world, and they're very happy doing that. They're feeling great satisfaction. Now, what to speak of those who can help people in an eternal sense, in a permanent sense, in a spiritual sense? That is the greatest source of happiness. So if you want to be happy, even to the highest degree of Krishna consciousness, then dedicate yourself to helping others come to Krishna and helping others come to Srila Prabhupada. So thank you very much. So now we'll continue with the name giving, if that's all right. Okay, so we have 9 nice devotees who are taking first initiation. And so they can, even though we're very crowded here, the system, I guess they could offer their obeisances in place or something like that. The system is to offer obeisances to Shri Radhagoloka Lokananda, first of all, and then to Srila Prabhupada, secondly, and then to, I guess, my humble or not so humble self. I always get confused when people say, please accept my humble obeisances. I'm always wondering what that means. Because if I think I'm humble, then it's not so good, then I'm not humble. And if I think my obeisances are humble, then also that's false pride. And if I think my obeisances aren't worth anything, that's really not so good either. So I was always wondering, and I'm still trying to figure that out. So anyway, so here's the order. Whoops. Okay, so first is Hemant and then Gopika. Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, Ivan. So what are the 4 regulative principles?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Yeah. That's all right. I mean, people are nervous at the time of initiations.
The 4 regulative principles are known as success.
Okay.
No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling.
Okay, great.
16 rounds of gambling.
Okay, very nice. So usually at the time of initiation, I have a whole list of names and I just, because when I'm looking at the person, I actually pick the name that I want. So your name, Hemant, get the beats with your right hand, you have to come up here. Is now right hand, Haripad Das. Okay, Haripad Ki Jai. Lotus feet of Hari. It's a pretty good name. Okay, next is Gopi. You can come closer. I don't bite people. I don't have COVID. Yeah, it's better the devotees come closer. Okay, so what are the 4 regular principles?
Maharaj, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no smoking, and chanting 16 ounces of Hare Krishna Maha.
Very good. And if we get a chance to chant more in the Kadasi, it's always nice. Okay, so your name, oh yes, a nice name. All names are nice. You have these with your right hand. So your name now is Goloka Vasani. Wow. Who fixed his name? Next is Venkat and Radha. You get closer. Is there something wrong with me? Okay, so what are the 4 regular principles?
Hare Krishna, no gambling, no illegal relationships.
Illegal? Well, in America, everything's legal.
Outside of marriage.
What?
Outside of marriage. No outside.
Yeah, but in America, marriage means something different than what I'm thinking. No illicit sex.
No meat eating, no intoxication.
Okay, how many rounds every day?
16 rounds minimum.
16 rounds minimum chanting. Okay. Oh, you got a nice name. So, these with your right hand. Your name now is right hand. Vamsi Gopal Das. Nice name. Vamsi Gopal. Okay, and Radha. I mean, you already have a spiritual name.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the 4 regular principles?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
no meditating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex.
Well, the illegal sex. So, it's the first time I've heard that one. So, how many rounds you chant every day?
16 rounds.
16 rounds.
16 rounds every day without losing.
And we could chant more on Ekadasi, it's always nice. Okay. And, okay, so you have such a nice name already. So your name now, and make sure we give you the right things. So your name now is, take the piece with your right hand, is Radha Kumari Devi. Nice names. Radha Kumari Devi. Next is Ravi, sorry. After Ravi comes Gayatri. Is that? Maybe. Oh, maybe. What can you do? You know, when you get older, you get away with anything. So Ravi, and so what are the 4 regular principles?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. No illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, no mating.
Okay, very
16 rounds of chanting every day.
And if you get a chance, chant more on the Kaddish, because Kaddish is really important. Kaddish is the mother of devotion. So, get the beads with your right hand. So your name now is Rama Avatar Das. Okay, so Gayatri. Okay, finally. It's taken many lifetimes. So, what are the 4 regular principles?
No meditating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling.
Okay, very good. And how many rounds?
16 rounds every day, more on English.
Okay. And a lot of chanting, a lot of singing too, right? So you get the beat with your right hand. So your name now is Govinda Rupini Devi Das. Next is Dave. Oh, you look good now.
Yeah.
Krishna saved you from that. You look really good. Wow. So what are the 4 regular principles?
No illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling.
That's very good. And how many rounds you chant?
Minimum 60.
Minimum 60. He's been chanting like 20 for a year and a half, so. And if you can chant more, the cuts is always good. So you get the beads with your right hand, and your name now is Dharma Virad. He's someone who's very heroic and upholding Dharma. Hey, Chris. And so Chris is, let me explain things. Chris is Siksha Guru's mother, Irmala. She's a primary source of, well, Prabhupada's the primary source of inspiration, but she's been actually very much nicely helping Chris advance his devotional service. And as I think Chris said, that she's much stricter than Bir Krishna Maharaj. Which is probably true. And he needs someone who's really strict to keep him in line. But me, whatever you see is what you get. Stupid. I'm strict. I mean, we're dedicated to Prabhupada, very, very dedicated to Prabhupada. That's my bottom line is Prabhupada, 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 and then allowing people to serve according to their psychophysical nature. And anyway, so Chris, what are the 4 regulative principles?
No meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling.
No gambling. How many rounds?
16 rounds.
16 rounds.
Extra unconscious.
You can chant more in the cup. Okay. So, and the name was actually given by Mother Irmala. So. So your name now, right hand you get, is Variandas. Varian means, of course, glorious, performer of good deeds, and like this. Yeah, it's a nice name. And finally, divine justice. Oh, I'm envious. So what? So what are the 4 regular? She got a sign from Krishna today that Krishna wanted to take initiation. So what are the 4 regular principles?
No eat fish or eggs, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling.
Good. How many rounds every day?
At least 16, and I can chant more than 20.
Good. And she's a student in university, North Carolina State. I want to thank the devotees, especially Aditya Narayan Prabhu, for conducting this program at North Carolina State on a regular basis. We find so many nice people are coming to Krishna consciousness because of that. North Carolina State. And then she graduated. Well, the Tulsi came. No. Where'd you come from? All right, so 16 rounds, and all right, so you get the beads with your right hand, and your name now is, this is a name that I don't think anyone else has this name. It's Daya Radhika Devi Dasi. Merciful, you don't know. And Radhika is the name of Srimati Radharani, of course. Daya Radhika. So Radharani is the most merciful. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavan Sri Vrishabhanu Sixte Devi Pranamami Hari Hari. So, isn't it? Because Lord Chaitanya is in her mood. Krishna is in her mood as Lord Chaitanya. Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Maha. Okay, so now we can proceed with the fire sacrifice. You ready? Okay, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. Yeah, Vadia. Yeah, with long eye.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama.
Where'd my pen go? Somewhere.
I'd like to congratulate all the initiates and I'd like to so Bir Krishna Goswami Maharaj has given given such beautiful names.
We forgot about the Brahman thread. Whoops.
The Brahman thread. So Shivalaji is
Where?
I don't see one.
It's not. It's somewhere. Anyway, I'll get it. I'll have to stand up and I'll find it.
So everyone can take 3 drops of water in your right hand. Don't let the beads touch the ground. So please keep it there. So just hold 3 drops of water in your right hand.
Okay. Put your right hand through on your head. That's it. Jai Haribol.
So let's continue. Om Tat Sat Shri Govindo 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 Asyam Subhakito Achyuta Gotra. Now all of you are initiated into the line. So now your Gotra is Achyuta Gotra. We are all finally lineage coming from Radha. Achyuta Gotra, and now all of you will loudly say your spiritual names.
You've got his name already? Dharma Vira. Dharma Vira. Dharma Vira. I'm just going to write down all the names. Vadiyan.
So basically now you are known by these personalities, by these names. So Achyuta Gotra, your name. What are we doing here? Shri Krishna Vidya Artham Upanayam Samskara Karmaham Karishya. So this is known as the Upanayam Samskara. So Maharaj already explained what is Samskara, and this is the initiation. Upanayam. So with this, you just let the water and the rice flow onto the ground. So this is when we take a sankalpa, that I now with this name belonging to Achyuta Gotra, I am seated here to perform this initiation, to be a part of this initiation ceremony. So we need some devotees. Now we can have kirtan in between. Let's see. So let's start with a little kirtan.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
प्रजापति विष्णु अग्नि स्थापने
Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Okay, so all the inches is repeat and everyone else can also do it. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Swaha 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 Shri Chaitanya Manobhishta Stapita Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Tadamayam Dadati Swapadantika Swaha 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 Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamala Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च स्वाहा 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 नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते श्री कृष्ण गोस्वामी इति नामिने स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा. You can repeat after me. The second one.
Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prasthaya,
Krishna Prasthaya,
Bhutale, Srimate, Bir Krishna Goswami, Namine, Namohamsa, Akashaya, Prabhupada, Vihayate, Sudrida, Sunistyambyam, Pashavakya, Nuvadine,
Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishnaprasthaya, Bhutale, Srimate, Bhaktivedanta, Swami, Namine, Namaste, Saraswate Deve, Gauravani, Acharine, Nirvishesha, Shunyavadi, Paschatya, Veshatarine, Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishnaprasthaya, Bhutale, Srimate, Bhaktisiddhanta, Saraswati, Namine, Shri Varshamanavi Devi, Daitaya Kripade, Krishna Sambandha Vijnana, Daine Prabhuve Namaha, Madhurya Uttara Premadhya, Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida, Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti, Vigrahaya Namostute, Namaste Gauravani, Shri Murte Dinatarine, Rupanuga Viruddhapa, Siddhanta Dvanta Harine, Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. Namo Gaur Kishoraya, Sakshat Vairagya Murte, Vipralambara Sambodhe, Padambujayate Namaha, Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya, Satchidananda Namine, Gaura Shakti Swarupaya, Rupanuga Varayate, Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. Gaura Virbhava Bhumeshwa, Nirteshta Satana Priya, Vaishnava Sarvabhauma, Shri Jagannathaaya Te Namaha, स्वाहा 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 वंचाकल्प तरुभ्यश्च एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा 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 नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिशे नमः स्वाहा 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 पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं स्वाहा 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 हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते स्वाहा 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 जयतां सुरतो पंगो मम मंदरमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्भोजो राधा मदन मोहन स्वाहा 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 दिव्य वृंदारण्य कल्पद्रुमदः श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद्राधा शील गोविंद देवो प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि स्वाहा 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 श्रीमन् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवतततस्थित कर्षणवेणो स्वनिर्गोपीर् गोपीनाथ श्रेयस्तु नः स्वाहा 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 तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी नमामि हरि प्रिय स्वाहा 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 श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद स्वाहा 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 ओम हरे कृष्णा ओम हरे कृष्णा ओम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे राम Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Swaha, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Swaha, Om. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha, Swaha, Hare Krishna. So now we'll do the Purna Ahuti. So we have bananas and on the everyone can hold the banana. Please stand up. So hold the banana between both your hands. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Swaha, 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 Swaha. Hare Krishna. After the Shanti done. Om Dal Shanti Antariksh Shanti Prithvi Shanti Apa Shanti Vayu Shanti Teja Shanti Oshadhya Shanti Loka Shanti Brahmana Shanti Vaishnava Shanti Shantir Astu Dhritir Astu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hare Krishna. All these Vaishnavas ki jai. So I congratulate everyone for their So let's have Kirtan and you can circumambulate the fire or the initiates first. So you can move and all the remaining grains in your plate, please offer it in the fire. Hare Krishna, also all the initiates after this ceremony, after you surrender, you all should go and beg for Dakshina. They go to all the villages and beg for
So were you able to get the indicator app on your new phone? It didn't work.
I tried it on this new phone. So, Salesforce. I can load the app in, but I can't sign in on it. The app's there. What about this?
So, but your own phone, did you take a backup at all or no? Ever?
Yeah, it's all back up to this phone.
Come back up.
It has your phone number, but it doesn't have my phone number.
Now, are you the administrator? Because it's on your only account, right? So you would be the administrator?
I'm the only person, but you opened up the account.
Yeah. So we can try this.
So maybe your phone number.
No, the other number.
I tried my phone number, it doesn't work.
Yeah, phone number will not work. Let's say log in. Yeah, but the administrator can do it. The administrator can disconnect the old I was reading up on the support forum. There's a way to do this.